joining us now is Notre Dame signee and Riley High School standout Blake Wesley. Blake, thanks for joining us, man. It's good to have you on.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
So we'll jump right into it. So we interviewed your friend and other Notre Dame commit, J.R. Knesny, and it was like the Monday before your commitment. And we asked him if he had any insider information to break. And he told us that he was 99% sure that you were going to go to Notre Dame. So, like, we kind of broke the news before you actually committed. So we were trying to get credit as the people who broke the story.
So can you just give us credit right now that we were the first ones to break it?
Yeah.
Yes, all right. Yeah, I already told him, like, I was like, yeah, I'm going there. Just don't say nothing. But yeah, it's cool.
So he lied to us.
Yeah, he did lie. He lied.
He 99% told the truth.
Yeah.
He 1% lied.
Yeah, he did.
He was, because we were like, at the very end of the episode, we were like, all right, we'll cut this out. We didn't cut it out. We're like, we'll cut this out. You got anything to tell us about Blake? And he was like, oh, 99% sure he's coming. So yeah, he straight up lied to us. That's tough. But
how much did his commitment play into your committing to Notre Dame?
A lot. I mean, we stayed together throughout the summer. We played against each other throughout the summer. We talked about it, and it's finalized now. So,
yeah. You mentioned you played against him in the summer a lot. Did that kind of like friendly rivalry kick in when you guys played each other this past month?
Oh yeah, for sure. We played in the summer. Indy Heat versus Indiana Elite. They beat us. He had a good game. I had a good game. We talked after the game. And then we just recently played December, I think it was the 10th or something like that.
Yes, that sounds about right.
Yeah, they come up on top. He had a good game. I did too. So we talked after the game also. Well, yeah.
Yeah, so we asked JR this question too, because on the ND page, when they announced that you guys signed, it mentions that Bray had been watching both of you since middle school. Like, did you actually ever notice like a scout at a middle school game?
No, I never knew who Mike Bray was in middle school anyway. So I was just like, I don't know who this man is until like, I think 8th grade, bright 8th grade year going to my 9th grade.
Yeah, okay. So Matt and I both played basketball against JR like all the time in middle school. We both played at St. Thomas. So we kind of thought, Bray was actually might have been watching us as well. But yeah, don't you think it's a little creepy that have had like scouts watching you and you didn't even know it since middle school?
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I don't even know. I didn't even know who he was. So
speaking of middle school, Reed and he mentioned we went to St. Thomas. We had our run-ins with Phil back in the ICCL days, and by that I mean we had a stands clearing brawl in 6th grade. But that's a story for another day.
Phil Robles.
Yeah, Phil Robles. So how is he as a teammate? Because we had our encounters as enemy or not. We'll say enemies.
There was
for the sake of conversation.
There was one game in 6th grade where I don't remember what happened, but there was like some dirty plays or something like that. And we literally had to get like escorted to the locker room by the refs. So,
so how is he as a teammate? Because I only know him from like that one perspective.
He's a good teammate. He actually helped me out. I think it was Friday we played Elkhart. He had 22 points. He was going to work. He's a good teammate, good player. He just doesn't talk that much really, but he's a good overall good player and good teammate.
That's good.
Yeah. So you mentioned he had 22. You also had 35-ish, if I'm not mistaken, right? You had 30.
33.
Yeah.
You talking about Friday? Yeah, 33.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Who does your edits on Instagram?
You talking about the thing I posted today?
Yeah. I mean, the Whole Lotta Red edit, the one with Don Tolliver edit over the summer, like the Can't Say edit, dude. There, like you have
some of the coldest edits.
Yeah, some of the coldest edits on Instagram.
Yeah, them is since they from Chicago. Since Chicago can't have basketball, so they asked me. So I'm like, yeah, anytime you come to any game, anytime, just let me know, and I'll tell the people you can get in.
Yeah,
stuff like that. And yeah, they're hard. One of the name is Brian, and yeah, he did the video I posted today.
Do you get to choose the songs and like he chooses the pick like the clips and you just choose a song, or is that all him?
No, that's all him. I just let him do that and then I just post it.
That's a talent. Yeah, you mentioned Instagram. Just curious, asking for a friend. How do you get a blue check mark? Because we kind of want one.
Actually, I was on the bus going to a game, and then somebody had texted me and say, "How did you get a blue check?" I didn't even know until I actually refreshed my page and got a blue check, and I was surprised. I think Instagram did it for me because like I have a lot of followers and stuff like that. So
yeah. No.
we have like a solid amount of followers, like 260. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
But
something like that.
you know, we have a good amount of followers, and we applied for we applied for a verification and we got denied. So
If you could put in
Yeah.
a word for us, that'd be nice.
yeah, if you ever like having a conversation with your friends over at Instagram, like we'd love to put in a good word.
All right.
Speaking of mixtape, I'm sure you watched a lot of Ball is Life mixtapes growing up of like
Yeah.
all these guys, Zion specifically. Is it surreal having a Ball is Life mixtape of your own now?
Uh,
Or is it just like it's just me doing me and someone just happened to see?
yeah, it's just me doing me. I don't really care if Baller's Life really come to a game. I'm just gonna perform the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, if I get a mix, that's cool. But yeah,
So did
Yeah,
you
but
always
Ball-
like? No, go ahead.
no, you got it. You got it.
Did you like always know that you were gonna be like where you are right now, like playing college ball stuff like that, or like
Yeah.
did you kind of just grow up like playing the game for fun and then it kind of turned into another beast?
Yeah, when did that kind of
Yeah.
sit in?
So I started playing basketball at 3 years old. I didn't know I was really gonna be this good. So freshman year, I played varsity as a freshman, not that much, but I played JV too. Sophomore year, I broke my wrist, my right wrist. So I thought I wasn't gonna get no scholarships. I thought my season was over, and I came back first game against Northridge, scored 19, and then that process, I started to play AAU. I was continuing to play AAU in the summer for G3 Grind, Under Armour Association, and I got my first offer from Butler University. And then after that, I was like, oh, okay, the offers are coming in. Because I saw everybody else getting offers and I wasn't getting offers. So I was like pretty mad. So I got my first offer. And then after that, I just started running up the offers. Got one from Notre Dame in the summer, junior year. Got Cincinnati, Xavier, Kansas State, Creighton, all them. So it's a blessing, but I didn't know I was gonna become this good
Yeah.
and play college at Notre Dame.
So we interviewed a Notre Dame football commit a few weeks ago, and he was talking about how he's an offensive lineman, and he was talking about how a lot of Notre Dame offensive linemen in the NFL have been reaching out to him, kind of recruiting. Like I know you talked a lot about how you're close with Demetrius and all them, but as it like when you're going to talking about Butler, like did Gordon Hayward ever reach out? Like has there been any like NBA players who are reaching out trying to get you to go to their college?
No, just not Butler, not anybody from Butler, but people from Kansas State, like people that are there now,
Yeah.
and people like you said, like Demetrius hit me up. I thought Pat Connaughton was, but I don't think he. I think he knows about me, but I think he doesn't really know like.
Yeah, I got you.
So yeah, I know, but nobody else really. No, just Demetrius. Demetrius said it's a good school, so yeah.
What was it about Notre Dame that really got you to commit outside of obviously JR committing?
If you go to campus, I mean, you're gonna feel it. Like it's a nice campus. It's right. I live 20 minutes from Notre Dame, so it's not that bad. My family live here. My parents here, and it's the best fit for me, cause like at Purdue, they got so many guards there that you can everything of Jaden Ivey, all them. So you just gotta go to the right school and go and fit in with the right program.
Yeah, a lot of guys want to get out of like their hometown and kind of see the world a little bit. So obviously you kind of see yourself as more of a hometown guy, sticking home, being close to home so you can see all your family and kind of like remember your roots.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah. Just stay home.
I mean, how much did I've noticed too, like a big trend in Notre Dame recruits have been like staying local. Kind of started with Demetrius and then obviously like JR and then you follow and everything like that. Like, do you foresee that being like the new wave? Is that everyone coming through in the 574 will want to? Because like, I feel like we have a sneaky good basketball like talent in this area. So do you like see that being the new wave? Is that a lot of guys wanting to filter through Notre Dame?
Yeah, but yeah, South Bend is really slept on basketball wise. I mean, you look at the Adams team.
Yeah.
They're undefeated, and I
Yeah,
don't
we got
think
ran by them.
yeah, I don't think none of them have an offer, but they should. All them on the team should have an offer. The whole starting five. I mean, yeah, but Notre Dame, yeah, it's a good school, and then being a hometown hero is good. So yeah.
Yeah. So you like speaking of like the Adams team being underrated and like South Bend being disrespected. I saw that you tweeted that like you didn't care about your team being in the top 10, but like at any point do you feel like you're not getting acknowledged for what you guys are like putting on for the city, or like do you really just genuinely not care?
I don't care because rankings don't really matter.
Yeah.
Anybody can lose on any given day, so anybody can lose. Number one team can lose. You can make an upset, and then that doesn't mean anything. So we don't care about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned the hometown heroes of like Demetrius and all those guys staying local. Riley has a pretty solid pedigree of guys just being that dude in the South Bend area. Like you had Demezy in like 2017, 2018. He went to IU. And now obviously you coming on the scene as big as you have. Like how has it set in that yet that like you're that dude?
Yeah, I mean, I have people that look up to me. I was looking up towards Demezy Anderson my freshman year. I was like, oh my God, he's gonna go to the league. He still has the opportunity to go to the league. But yeah, being that guy, I mean, it's a lot of pressure because everybody wants to like be you, hang out with you, all that stuff. But sometimes you just can't like other people come into your life just because like you're going to Notre Dame and stuff like that. I like pick and choose who I hang out with and who was there from the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. That's huge.
Yeah, I feel like you could definitely attract like a lot of unwanted attention from that. But
Yeah.
so usually a big part of our interviews is I'll like go through whoever we're interviewing, I'll go through their Twitters for like an hour, just try to find like some old funny tweets.
Yeah, like keep in mind we interviewed a couple hockey players from Notre Dame. One guy had 1,400 tweets and read every single
I read
tweet,
every single one.
all 1,400. So just to kind of give you a background of how kind of psychotic Reed is.
So I literally couldn't find a single bad tweet on your Twitter. Did you have to like go through once you started going through the recruitment process and deleting some, or were you just like not a big Twitter guy?
No, I didn't even have Twitter. Like when I got my first offer, that's when I first got Twitter. Is when I posted my first offer.
Okay.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why it's pretty clean.
The hockey guys have had Twitter since like 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going through and finding there were some gems on there. They were talking about killing the Pope and stuff like that. It was some good
pretty
stuff.
eye-opening.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of recruitment, our producer Eric is like a huge Notre Dame nerd in terms of like all sports. He's over there at the corner off camera. And he's on this, he pays to be on this recruiting website about football and basketball.
For Notre Dame.
Yeah. And there was a post he wants to ask you about.
Okay.
Yeah. So Eric, the producer here again. So I don't remember, but they said in an interview with Jeff Erman, you said, I want to play as a freshman, get like 26 minutes a game, averaging like 10 or 12 points per game. Do you remember saying this?
You think so?
Yeah. So
I think it was on the phone. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Just to be clear, this isn't me saying this, but in response to this, someone said, my excitement went from 10 to 2 when I heard that quote. I hope that's just a high school kid talking off the cuff. He's gonna be very disappointed. Do you have anything in response to say to like this?
Like shut down the haters.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't have anything to say. They probably don't even have the stuff that I get. So I'm not really tripping off anybody who says that. It's probably like a fan, everybody has those one fans, like they hate on everybody because they don't have.
It's probably like a Marion fan after you like went off against us or something like that.
He's probably like a 40-year-old like guy living in his basement who's bald and like overweight.
Who also pays for a subscription.
Yeah, who pays like, I mean, that's just a telltale sign of someone who shouldn't be talking about sports. If you pay for a subscription just to like see recruiting information, Eric.
Yeah, it's funny as someone who is part of a sports podcast, but so you stand by everything you said?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I respect it.
Yeah, there's some you can definitely respectable. Like it's respectable.
It is.
You say some people don't agree with, but you stick by it. Like,
exactly. That's pretty much why that's like our business. That's what we do. Yeah. Who's someone that you feel like you've always modeled your game after? Like we talked to Bonzi, and like once he got to college, he just became Bonzi. But like he always had like this person that he modeled his game after. I think it was AI.
Yeah, Bonzi was modeled after AI.
AI growing up. So who did you kind of embody?
Really, I don't nobody because I don't know. I just don't know. I can't think. I don't know. I don't remember.
So you didn't have like a go-to guy who you watch like a highlight tape before a game? Like in middle school, I wanted to be like Kyrie, so I watched like a Kyrie mixtape before the game.
He was nowhere near Kyrie.
No, I was not.
Like if I had to pick one player who he was nowhere near, it would be Kyrie.
Yeah, I wanted to.
No, I didn't watch no highlights before the game, or nobody. I don't know why.
Interesting.
I still think it's funny that Bonzi is like a big man, wanted to be like AI. Anyway.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. We mentioned pregame. Do you have a go-to song pregame?
Yeah, Statement by G Herbo.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a solid go-to.
Speaking of like Bonzi in that interview, we asked him how much he was benching. There's one question we ask every single person who comes on the show is what they bench. How much are you benching these days?
So I actually go to Planet Fitness every morning, 7:30.
Got the
When I
grind.
first started going, I was 165. Now I'm 185. So,
Okay.
I think you bench more than JR
Yeah, I think so too.
because JR said he just does like 135 for like 10.
Yeah.
yeah.
We need,
Yeah.
we need to get a bench in studio. And that's actually a good segue into my next question. Who would win one-on-one, you or JR? And why?
I get asked this question all the time. I'm gonna go. I'm going myself.
Why?
On that
I
one.
mean, you kind of can't say JR. Like, if you're in his shoes, you kind of can't say JR.
Right, yeah, but why is it you?
I mean, I can play defense. Don't get me wrong, JR can play defense, but I'm just like all over the place at all the time. So I'm gonna go with myself.
All right, yeah, because watching you, you're more of a one-on-one ISO kind of player, and I think JR is more of a get open off the ball and make something happen. Where you're, as opposed to you can take the ball up the court and take on anyone one-on-one.
Yeah.
That's why I personally think you, but I mean, I could just be completely wrong. So we need to get that pay-per-view as soon as possible.
I'm gonna like make a clip out of this and post it on Twitter and say like start some beef between the two.
Yeah, perfect. That's what we need.
The Blake Wesley says he's better than JR for like future teammate JR.
Clickbait.
Yeah, we'll clickbait everyone on that. So Blake, you and I were in a leadership program type thing last year. Did you notice that had any impact on the court? And I understand that's like a big stretch, so you can say no.
Say that again.
Like, you know how we were in that leadership thing last year?
Yeah.
Did you notice that had any impact on your game? Like with like the mental aspect of your game, anything like that?
I mean, it did help me a little.
No.
Nah.
You don't have to make
Yeah,
something
no,
up.
you don't have to make it up.
I'm sure they
Nah.
aren't listening to this.
I mean, it was a nice leadership program, but sometimes it helped me with the like when we did that one thing with like TED Talk or something when he came in with the keychain.
Oh yeah.
It was like this taught me leadership and stuff like that. It was nice though. I liked it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So our producer Eric has another question that he wants to ask you.
He's like 5'6". So
Yeah,
this
just
is-
go-
this
just
is
keep
what
that
I'm
in
asking.
mind.
Hold on, 5'6" and a half. Thank you.
Sorry.
So as a shorter fella, I've always wondered, how cool is it to dunk?
I mean, it's cool.
I mean,
That's
that's
cool.
just the dumbest question. I've
I mean,
ever
it
heard.
might be kind of cool, but I don't know. I'm just curious. Like obviously, I mean, I've dunked on like an 8 foot or like a 7 foot.
Mm,
I was
before,
just saying, I
but,
don't
like,
think you've dunked on
yeah.
an 7.
Yeah, probably 7. But yeah, just being like going up there like a 10-foot rim like that was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, when I got my first dunk, I was like, wow. Like it's fun when you first dunk, you're gonna be hyped.
When was that?
Yeah, how old were you?
I was a freshman.
Good lord.
Oh, really?
On JV. I dunked in a JV game versus Elkhart Memorial.
How tall were you back then?
I was 5'11" or 5'11".
Ooh.
Wait, was that your first in-game dunk or first dunk you ever had?
First in-game dunk.
Oh,
okay.
What was like
Oh,
your
oh.
first dunk ever?
Still freshman year. It was at a workout. I tried it one time and I did it.
Huh.
Huh.
That's so you just like didn't even know you could, like you weren't like working towards it. You just went up one day and just got it.
Yeah, I was working to dunk before I got my first dunk, but I just tried it in the game because I had a fast break. It was wide open, so I tried it in a JV game and I went in. So
That's crazy.
I envy you.
So a game last year that stays in my mind for a while is that Marion Riley game. And obviously, as the student section, we're very keen. We have a very keen eye for picking out coaches in the stands, whatever. Did you know Bray was in the stands for that game along with Painter?
I knew Coach Bray was there. I didn't know Painter was there.
Yeah, I was just curious because I figured they were there to see Jaden because he had offers from both schools, and I didn't know if you got a contact from Bray either before or after that game.
No, Bray was already looking at me. He already
okay.
offered me that game.
Oh, all right. My
He already
fault.
offered
Hand
me
up.
he offered me way before that game. He offered me going into my junior year summer.
Oh, wow. That's my mistake.
Nice.
My bad.
So like we said, like Demetrius and you said you were like really close with Prentice as well.
Mhm.
Since you're like the new guy on the block, did they ever like poke some fun at you, a little bit of freshman hazing?
No, not yet, but I know it's coming.
Yeah, I could imagine that coming into like a college locker room, especially hometown guy, stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, Blake, that's all the questions that we have. Thanks for your time. I know you're a really busy guy. Thank you for fitting us into your schedule. Good luck with the recruit process, or good luck with your career at Notre Dame, and hope to see you in action sometime soon, man.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you so
Appreciate it,
much. Thanks, Reed. Thanks.
For sure.